Imagine being handed the keys to a brand new Ferrari, but the brakes are from a beach cruiser. That is the daily reality of having a highly intelligent brain. We treat high IQ like a golden ticket. We assume that if your mind moves faster, life must just be a smooth, effortless cruise to the top. But nobody talks about what happens when that engine runs too hot. High intelligence isn't just about scoring well on a test. It's a completely different way of experiencing reality. One that comes with a silent, exhausting tax. If you've ever felt like your own thoughts are holding you hostage, you aren't broken. You're just dealing with the 4 hidden friction points of a sharp mind. Let's unmask them. Segment 1. The Infinite Decision Tree. Let's start with a classic, analysis paralysis. For most people, a choice is a straight line, point A to point B. But to an overactive intellect, a single decision is a massive, cascading simulation. You don't just pick a project topic or a career move. Your brain automatically calculates the next 5 years of potential failure, market shifts, and existential regret for every single path. Psychologists call this hyper-awareness. Your brain is hyper-tuned to find patterns and forecast risks. The irony? When you can see 50 different ways a scenario can play out, making a simple move feels like walking through quicksand. It looks like chronic procrastination from the outside, but on the inside, it's total cognitive exhaustion. You aren't lazy. You're just tired of playing 3D chess against yourself. Segment 2. The translation gap. Real human connection relies on shared mental pacing. When you have a highly analytical mind, your brain doesn't walk to a conclusion. It leaps there. You skip steps A, B, and C, and arrive instantly at D. But when you speak, you realize everyone else is still back at the starting line. To close the gap, you have to mentally backpedal, retrace your steps, and explain the 5 layers of context you just took for granted. Do this enough times, and social fatigue sets in. You start editing yourself before you even speak. You learn to smile, nod, and mask your natural thought process just to keep the vibe comfortable. It's a lonely paradox, being entirely present in the room, yet completely stranded in your own head. Segment 3. The gifted kid trap. This next one runs deep. The perfectionism loop. A lot of sharp minds carry the invisible weight of being labeled the gifted kid early on. When things come naturally to you as a child, you internalize a dangerous equation. My worth equals my ease. But life inevitably gets harder. And the first time a highly intelligent person hits a wall they can't think their way out of, the psychological shock is massive. Because your identity is anchored in being flawless, a single failure doesn't just feel like a bad day. It feels like a defect in your character. To protect that fragile ego, the brain plays a trick. It stops trying. The intellect becomes a shield, avoiding any risk where absolute mastery isn't guaranteed. Segment 4. The mind that won't let go. Finally, there is the open tab syndrome, powered by a glitch in human psychology called the Zeigarnik effect. The Zeigarnik effect. The brain inherently prioritizes unfinished or interrupted tasks over completed ones. It refuses to let them go. For an analytical mind, the entire world is a collection of open tabs. An unresolved disagreement, an unfinished creative project, an unanswered text, or a flaw in your work. These aren't just details you handle later. They are background apps constantly draining your battery. Finding true grounding, or inner peace, isn't a luxury for a mind like this. It's a vital survival skill because your default setting is a restless, 24/7 search for completion. If this sounds like your internal monologue, hear this. Your mind isn't a design flaw. It's just an incredibly powerful engine, and engines need intentional maintenance. You have to learn when to consciously close the tabs. You have to learn to value human connection over being intellectually right. And most importantly, you have to give yourself permission to build things messily before you try to make them perfect. Take a breath. Step away from the screen. If this hit home, drop a comment below about how you quiet the noise in your head. Hit subscribe for more deep dives into the human mind, and I'll catch you in the next one.